Hi there, this is Catherine. Thanks you for listening to my SEO Tips micro podcast. So, before we get into today's SEO tip, I just wanted to share with you the ways you can support the podcast if you're enjoying all the tips and finding them useful. So, you can send me a donation at buymeacoffee.com/Catherine W. Ong, O-N-G, and that's Catherine with a K. Any and all levels of donation are appreciated. It will help me offset the cost of producing the podcast. So, that's buymeacoffee.com/Katherinewong. I'd also encourage you to subscribe to our email list to make sure you're not missing any future episodes or any other news about the SEO Tips podcast. And to do that, you'd go to wostrategies.com/newsletter. Okay, on with today's tip.
Are your inbound links rotting? Hello, thanks for listening to SEO Tips today. As many of you during this time of social distancing, I'm working on a garden, so decomposition is on my mind today. So your tip is actually a link building tip, as I don't think I've given you a link building tip yet. So today we're going to focus on monitoring your brand mentions and making sure that whenever you get a link from that mention back to your website. It's actually pretty easy to set up a Google News alert or alert in your favorite SEO tool to be notified of any new brand mentions. And if there's not a link from those mentions, you can outreach to the other webmaster to see if you can get a link. Recently, Google clarified that they don't actually use online brand mentions without a link as a factor in ranking, regardless of what the SEO community has thought through over the years. So it's even more important to outreach to get those links to increase your ranking, as well as capture those referral visits to your website. So once you find the mention, you're going to need to find the webmaster's email. I would recommend using BuzzStream if you have an account, and then set up a template that you can use for outreach. BuzzStream makes this super easy, and I have a few examples of those types of outreach email templates on my blog. A few additional tips. When you outreach, make sure you're a real person and nicely ask them if they would add a link from that reference of your brand to your website. And you might also want to follow up, as most webmasters are swamped with maintenance and publishing tasks, and editing links is just not their highest priority. So that's your tip for today. Monitor and see if you can turn those brand mentions into links. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for another SEO tip.